one of the reasons why most people have the impression that ancient Egyptians were idiots, and their language is just a bunch of nonsensical gobbledygook, is because of the Budge translations that are terrible. They were done in the 18th century, highly biased. I'm not normally one to reach for this word, but I've heard younger generation people, hey, there's Chris Uger, saying that it's actually kind of a racist interpretation of, or just it's a very dismissive view of them and their intellect, and to hold up the Budge book as if it is actually a translation when it's just a bunch of nonsense for the most part. I think it was enough like a stair step to get us to some place where we understand a lot of it, but there's whole modes of hieroglyphic communication that Budge didn't understand. Imagine this, imagine if you're a technological society and if you're a yogic society, and, imagine vibration, that word vibration, and how important that is to discussions of all kinds of energy work and stuff. Budge translated vibration as trembling. So imagine if you're trying to talk about science and you're talking about the trembling of electrons and protons. And so it was just, it was kind of as good as you can expect, but it's nowhere near a complete thing. Champollion, Venetia and I were not recently, right before COVID, it was like a minute ago to me, but right before COVID, we were in Florence, walking the path that Leonardo da Vinci walked. And we saw, oh my God, I just lost it. What were we talking about? We
Vibration.
were just,
Budge and vibration.
Oh yeah. We stayed at the Musée dell'Egizio in Italy. And I didn't know this, but this is where Champollion did his work, where all of the actual translations of Champollion were taking place, and they say it's where Egyptology was born, in these little dusty rooms in this amazing museum. Italians know how to take care of art better than Egyptians, I think, and even though there's maybe 1/10, possibly 1/100th the amount of artwork in the Italian museum, they really got in there early and looted and got the cream of the crop. It was just unbelievable. It makes you want to cry how perfect, pristine these sculptures are, and they're treated like works of art. Like Cairo Museum is like somebody's warehouse, like a hoarder's warehouse. And it's just haphazard, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's, there's nothing like it. But when you go to Italy and you see these actual things, unbelievable. But the point I wanted to bring up was that so many of the 18th century Egyptologists were Freemasons, and they were all, the London group, MacGregor Mathers and A.E. Waite, and like famous people from tarot traditions, and Masons who were sworn to keep certain things secret. So at the very best, there's a conflict of interest when people who are sworn to keep certain ideas secret are the ones doing the translations that we get to work from. So Jafar, to answer your question, there's a massive market for theosophical or anthropocosmic, or, just like if you were to do one in your own inimitable style, and you focus on the idea that there's a technology here that we're not getting, possibly a technology of psychic or consciousness amplification, and you go at it from that point, then you don't translate into a bunch of nonsense, but you translate this thing that seems like kind of an operating system, like an owner's manual that specifically shows you how to do Kundalini, and more importantly, that no one talks about nearly enough, it shows you what to do when you die, to keep your options open.